All right, my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and we need to talk about this AMD showcase at CES today. And yeah, so all right, guys, let's go ahead and get started with this. They basically did not show us anything when it comes to the GPUs. They left it up to the YouTubers to run through like the little thing that they gave them. I reached out to somebody at AMD to see if they could provide that type of stuff for me too, so that I don't have to go digging around in other YouTuber stuff to try to find that. But you know, guys, from what they told me is 9070 XT is essentially going to replace and slot in at the 7900 XT power range. Now, you guys know that when I first switched over to AMD, that was the card I was running, and I was quite impressed and very happy up till selling it. Like I was still satisfied with the overall performance of that GPU, and seeing as that card, the new 9070, will actually be cut down. So the 7900 XT was 320-bit bus with 20 gigabytes of VRAM. This will be cut down to 16 gigs of VRAM on a 256-bit bus. So essentially replacing that segment for, you know, up to 7900 XT. Now, the fact that this is coming on a 256-bit bus with 16 gigs of VRAM, you are going to need to look at this card as that mid-range card. It's a 1440p GPU. Obviously, the 7900 XT was a very decent GPU at 4K. It definitely did 4K pretty well. So now you're essentially getting knocked down a slot to mid-range, which 1440p is not bad, my friends, at all. I absolutely love 1440p, and if we can get 7900 XTX or XT power in the 1440p range, I don't see that as a negative thing. That is a very potent 1440p GPU. With the inclusion of FSR4, now I know there's a lot of misunderstanding out there because part of it is exclusive to RDNA 4. Part of it is exclusive. So any game that essentially runs FSR 3.1 will have like an automatic upgrade path to FSR4 upscaling. So I don't know exactly how to go about that, but if you watch Hardware Unboxed, he was talking about that, and it kind of made sense that if you already have games with RDNA 3.1 and then they use that same data or whatever to just convert right over to FSR4 and utilize machine learning for that, that's actually pretty cool. If it works out the way that it's possible or whatever, if that actually works out and you get like 40 to 50 games with RDNA or FSR 3.1 already upscaled to FSR4, now that right there, they're talking about that being an exclusive feature to RDNA 4. And you know, when you look at this, okay, I did a lot of research on RDNA 3. RDNA 3 does in fact have Generation 1 AI accelerators, like it does. It is not it is capable of machine learning. So I do believe that there is going to be an FSR4 that will be utilizable on the RDNA 3 cards. Now, I've said this and I will die on this hill, okay? If AMD does not bring FSR4 ML upscaling, machine learning upscaling by AI to RDNA 3, I will publicly shame myself and shill NVIDIA for 2 whole weeks. I will shill NVIDIA. I'll go and buy an NVIDIA GPU and I will shill it for 2 full weeks. So if they don't come out with it, and I will tell everybody that yes, NVIDIA is number one when it comes to the AI upscaling. But let's take a minute, my friends, and like think about what the repercussions of this machine learning, upscaling, all of this going forward is. So essentially, these technologies were once reserved for consoles, for the console space. Yeah, you heard that right. Upscaling, frame interpolation, all of these types of deals were essentially console level features. that have now infested the GPU market. So essentially, when you hear anybody freaking out about upscalers or any of that kind of stuff on your GPUs, you're fighting over freaking console level stuff. Yeah, you're fighting over that. And when we really look at things and you really dial things in, the only real useful scenario that you should be worried about upscalers is on your entry-level GPUs. And clearly, if you want to use ray tracing, the NVIDIA ray tracing absolutely relies on DLSS to actually work. So there's that. There's that, my friends. So when I look at what the 9070 XT is replacing, coming in and slotting in with the 7900 XT, 7900 GRE, basically replacing those cards and becoming the mid-range banger card for AMD. And then you'll have like the 9060 and 9060 XT that are essentially going to come in and replace the 7700 XT or the 7800 XT and the 7700 XT, I believe. Oh no, the 9070, the basic 9070 is going to replace these that other card, the 7900 GRE and the 7800 XT, and then the 9060 and 9060 XT are going to replace the 7700 XT and the 7600. So that there is basically the lineup for AMD. It definitely sounds compelling if you are essentially like most gamers and you want a, $500-600 GPU. I really hope they don't try to charge $600 for that. I think $500, maybe $549 is a fair price for RDNA 4's top end card. $600, I really do just see the negativity of that being the I really do kind of see the negativity of charging $600 for that card being really prevalent, especially if this thing is going up against the 5070. So 5070 is where these cards are going to top out. That's pretty much what AMD is kind of banking on, and obviously we'll know pricing and release date and all of that stuff as soon as NVIDIA launches or talks about launching their cards. So hopefully soon, from the person that I talked to that works for AMD, they said soon, so I'm hoping within the next day or two, and then we should be able to know more about that. There's plenty of third-party vendors out there showing off their cards right now. I am expecting third-party vendor cards to be coming in around $650 for these cards. I'm expecting like $650 for that. And then like the AMD card maybe comes in at like $550 or whatever. I think $550 is more than fair. Try to get as much as they can for it, $570, whatever they got to do to try to at least make some money on these cards and be able to, bring out a card at a reasonable price that's going to perform. 7900 XT power is very good. Like that is very good. That is a very good performant GPU, and if this thing comes out and it has good upscaling, it has better ray tracing for a decent price, I don't see that as a net negative. I definitely see that as a positive for AMD. And hey man, as an AMD fan, I want to see them make more money. I want to see them be able to gain market share, and I want to see them produce a product that's going to put a smile on your face. I know that I'm happy with AMD, and I know that I stand by AMD. I just hope they do this right. I hope they do this right. I hope that whatever they decide to do is well received by the community. I know that the PC community can be very, very hard to please. And that's just the way it is. Like we all definitely want more for less. And AMD is, trying to thread that needle to try to produce a product that's going to make you happy at a fair, affordable price. I feel like AMD would definitely try to give you a fair, affordable price on their GPUs. But then when you look at the CPU pricing, it's definitely going up. It's definitely getting more expensive, and the returns, 8% uptick for the, I don't know, man. I don't know. 8% seems, I don't know. I mean, I guess if the price is close to the same as the MSRP of the old ones, maybe that doesn't matter. But yeah, guys, I just feel like we're at a point right now where the hardware gains for these GPUs and where the money is actually being made with these GPUs right now, Obviously the mid-range, obviously the low end, that's where people are focused and that's where people are spending their most money. Obviously there is a market for high end, but how big is that market? And where do you aim those resources if you're a company like AMD trying to get market share? Because the thing is, guys, is all you got to do is buy one AMD card, and it's not so easy anymore. It's not so cut and dry that NVIDIA is the best. There's some very good features for AMD that I absolutely love more than anything that NVIDIA has to offer. That's why it's easy for me to make that choice. It's easy for me to be like, yeah, dude, I absolutely love AMD. I love what they bring to the table. I actually use the features that are on the AMD side. So it makes me happy. AMD makes me happy. I like that. As long as AMD's GPUs can compete in the class next to NVIDIA, I don't have a problem buying those products. I mean, my 7900 XTX is more powerful than the 4080 Super. It's going to last longer. It's got a better memory bus. It's got more VRAM. It's just an overall better, more well-rounded GPU that's going to last me longer than any of the NVIDIA products that I would have bought in that price range. So yes, I like my AMD 7900 XTX, and I'm looking forward to covering this 9070 XT. Possibly the 9070 too. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.